Hello, everyone. Draft is started for today's match between the Hashira and Coinflip. Ban phase has already begun. First going to LeBlanc for Coinflip. Second ban for the Hashira, Jana. Third ban, Yone. Hashira deciding on their third. So far, a lot of mid lane targeting Coinflip's end. And Hashira seems to be taking aim at supports. Honestly, kind of a fair play, considering how dangerous Coinflip support can be. And Coinflip final ban for the first phase goes to Volibear. Wonder not sure top four. Probably a maybe. Oh no. Yeah. Okay. I guess in a way Zaya's kind of a dissuade for Rakan ban, but you know, Rakan is plenty versatile. Doesn't necessarily lock him out. Coinflip opting for the first pick Jax pretty much instantaneously. Honestly, fair play considering all the buffs he's gotten for the Worlds patch. He is an incredibly strong champion at the moment. It's really funny how these Worlds balance patches sway the top lane just so heavily. Cause like Jax is already a pretty darn strong champion beforehand, and now he's just much harder to kill. Alright, and Hashira's first pick, opting for Sivir. Kind of an interesting pick so early on, considering what they will be fighting in just yet. And the Wukong for their second pick. Hopping over to Coinflip now for picks 4 and 5. Alright, there's the Anivia. Can possibly be a bit of a nuisance for Wukong later on. Does a great job at splitting up the enemy team. And renders the move speed buffs that Sivir may provide a bit less value. However, Wukong can, you know, stop her ultimate, so. Provided he gets close. And doesn't get stunned. There's Braum to put a bit of a damper on Sivir's Ricochet hopes. Lots of Freljordian strength thus far. Hashira decides to pick Syndra into Braum. I find that kind of surprising. It can be very problematic, especially as the game moves on for her. Alright, first ban of the second wave for Hashira goes to Gnar. There's the Olaf ban for Coinflip. Does Olaf do well in a Jack? Not sure. I don't think we'd see anything like Mordekaiser. Some tanks might be fine. Hashira deciding to ban Mundo. It's interesting since Coinflip has already picked Jax, but it could be Jungle Jax. Well, and there was the Gnar ban. So yeah, Hashira is banking on it being a Jax the jungle. Coinflip's final ban going to Milio. Are we gonna see an Ashe, perhaps? Or some otherwise heavy dive power there? I don't expect to see Caitlyn. Who else could be a solid pick with this setup? Like, Ashe seems to be the most likely. Could be Varus as well. I when Rakan was hovered then picked, my mind was like, wait, Xayah was already banned, because, you know, she's in his portrait right there. Or wait, yeah. So Hashira's bot lane is locked in, mid lane is locked in, top and jungle can flex. Coinflip going for the Ivern in the jungle. That was indeed a Jax top. Unless we're going to see the rise of a mid lane Ivern and AD carry Anivia. And Lucian is the final option there. Kinda surprised to see that. I think that Sivir is able to block a bit of his upfront burst, and he kind of puts himself into somewhat of an easy position for the boomerang to just hit him. But, you know, there is solid setup opportunity with Braum. She can't block the initial application of his passive if he punches her. And Braum does kind of help mitigate some of the punishment that can be dealt back on the return going aggressive. Since Lucian does want to fight in bursts, it could offset that. And there was the Mordekaiser pick in the Jax, which I think we've seen last cast that I've done, that gets a bit difficult for Mordekaiser versus Jax as the game goes on, but we'll see. Only time this season Vor gets to enjoy Braum support. Is Braum one of their mains or something? Respect if so. Coinflip 2-0 expected here. Looking at the team compositions, I feel that Syndra is pretty darn neutered by Braum in the mid-late game. Ivern Shields won't help her either. Anivia does a good job at splitting the teams. Not a lot of dash mobility available on Hashira outside of Wukong and Rakan. So eventually Sivir, Syndra, Mordekaiser all will kind of be sitting ducks. I don't think that Mordekaiser is a great pick into Anivia or Jax. Could be wrong about that, but we'll see. Ivern does some good padding. There isn't really any dive potential on Coinflip's end, however. They do expect to be fighting front to back, I would assume, which is something that Sivir does excel at. So if Hashira secures a lead, it could be a bit dangerous for them, especially since Sivir would do a great job spreading serpents, should she opt to purchase it. Not quite sure how the lethality Sivir build measures up at the moment, but I don't imagine it's particularly bad. Jax and Braum are going to be pretty beefy for Hashira to be digging into as well. I guess Syndra's kind of there to help with the Jax at the very least. But, you know, with Jax's magic resist in his ultimate having been ramped up from the buffs, it's going to make him problematic to burst for her. So because of that, I think that, like, Lucian is probably going to be your only viable mid or late game target. But, you know, you can always expect Braun to be there, so it's going to be a real tough call. Oh, wait. Looks like we might have a Jax jungle with Ivern top into Mordekaiser. Oh ho ho! Fun. Those are going to be some nasty ganks from Jax. Honestly, I feel like Mordekaiser's kind of served on a platter at that point. Ivern has the range to deal with him pretty darn safely. Even though he doesn't have any dashes, he is an absolute menace in the lane. His autos give him plenty to fend Mordekaiser off with. Wukong comes top, it could pose a bit of a problem, but I don't know. The people that are confident enough to go Ivern in lane, I have pretty decent respect for, because they often tend to pull off some really scary stuff. And, you know, Jax in the jungle gets to spread his balance all across the rift. I want to say that, like, Coinflip's team is looking really good to me. The biggest aspect of it, though, is the fact that there is a Braum into a Syndra, which severely hampens Hashira's potential. While Mordekaiser can cause issues. Also, if... Okay, good. Thank you, CLT. But yeah, I really think that Coinflip has a pretty big composition advantage. They don't have a lot of move speed, which is the only unfortunate thing I can say in regards for them. But Ivern is a champion that could buy Shirelia's, but unsure of what build he might be opting for into this, so time will tell for that. Uh, then... What's it? Like, laning phase bot does feel like it could kind of go one way or the other, but with Rakan's dash abilities able to be stopped without having knockdown effects packed onto them, uh, does make Braum's stun a bit problematic for him. Like, a pretty darn fair bit problematic for him, and Lucian is slippery enough to be able to avoid some of Rakan's potential engages. Might see some cross-map play needing to come in because of that, but then again, that would leave Sivir pretty darn exposed. But yeah, I do think that in terms of composition, that Coinflip just looks incredibly solid to me. Other than not really having reliable means of engage. Like, they do have Ivern and Braum for potential pick opportunities. Like, they're really good at punishing. Like, Anivia and Lucian double into that. Whereas there is some diving power in Wukong and Rakan. for Hashira's end. Plenty of follow-up provided by Sivir. But once again, the Braum is going to be a very big issue, I feel. As we start loading into the match. I'm gonna have to make sure that it's properly going. My screens are having issues. Alright, good. Alright, pings come out fast. Coinflip wanting to walk straight mid and check on those raptors. While Hashira is aiming for vision on the bot side entrance. But Tomper. I think they were not spotted.
30 seconds. No matter how far it is to the top, it's still
from Braum. Wukong will be slowed. Decide not to go hyper aggressive into it. But they did get the ward. Wukong will be recalling to get a sweeper potentially. Nope. Going for his blue buff, however.
Minions have spawned.
The bush. Braum was spotted. Knocked up, bone plating, doing some. Rakan taking a lot of hurt, already dipping under 200. Yeah, just quick peek here. Braum armor 35, Rakan armor 30. Wait, I could have sworn Braum's base armor was much higher. Did he get a big nerf on that recently? I swear he was in the 40s. I'm pretty sure that him and Alistar were both like at 45 armor level 1. Don't tell me I'm hallucinating. Maybe it's from old runes. Miners. Guys are supposedly. Yeah. I can quite a bit. Really hard to actually blast hit or threaten enemies. Trade behaviors. That high. Kind of have to predict like 2 seconds ahead of time which to click. Bot lane health values or fact. Is Syndra getting some good stacking? Already at 15 starters. Ooh, engagement on the bottom side. Rakan falling to half health once more. I think that only kind of dipped into his shield and about 100 more health. But he is out of healing options at the moment, so there's that.
Sometimes I need to treat myself.
Alright, took a full Q to the face. Mordekaiser walking into Jax. Wukong working his way up. The Scuttle Crab was spotted. Ooh, nice Q. So Jax didn't really have to flash into that. Did die as a result.
Okay.
Unfortunate beginning.
Gotcha.
Sivir spotted on the recall. Khan will be heading back as well. A wave shove and reset. Alright. Looks like this pause is gonna take a bit.
A summoner has disconnected. A summoner has reconnected.
Game is back on. Yeah, you're right. Ivern does need a bit of time to actually get into it before he actually has the stuff that can benefit his team as an enchanter, sort of. He's just kind of a lane bully, but can't really fight outside of lane before having Daisy all much. I think that's what Jax was a bit overzealous about. Especially after seeing that the Scuttle Crab was cleared. You knew that Wukong was on the top side, and that you'd be jumping into a 2v2 situation after flashing. Now Jax's flash is down, and he's gonna have a lot of trouble actually getting stuff done. He'll be forced off of the dragon. That's gonna be a free ocean break for the Hashira. And Anivia getting very low health. Looks like Egg is almost triggered. Definitely gonna have to take a reset here. Interesting and a bit longer. Doesn't have teleport available. Nice damage output from Daisy. However, does need to be careful, since if he gets pulled into the dash realm, he won't have Daisy with him. Ooh, very nice ice wall. And this is around the point where Anivia is partially activated, but already lost a lot of mana from that. I think her teleport's only like 40 seconds. Bit of about 90-second difference. Nivea might be taking a set here. She saw that Syndra wanted to go back. Very nice damage output from Lucian down bot. Daisy is gone. Catalyst is up for Nivea. Having Egg alongside it does mean sustain is going to be a fair bit healthier during trades. Alright, and Rakan will be rotating towards Grubs. Braum will be there soon to follow. Jax hovering. Bit early on the counter-strike Jax and did not seem to hit any targets with his ultimate. But Syndra's taking quite a beating. Anivia still has Egg available, flash over the wall, but is going to try and get out of there so that Mordekaiser doesn't pull into the death realm. Jax goes down yet again. Alright. There's the Mordekaiser ultimate. Half health. And Anivia is gone. Braum following afterwards. Nice play from the Hashira thus far. Bit over-eager with the speed that that play went off. Coinflip's end. Allowed Hashira to isolate Jax from the rest of his team. Then Anivia overextending into the Mordekaiser, let her get in. She can't quite 1v1 a Mordekaiser yet. Just has to scale. Can roam. Just has to scale. Jax trying for a play up top once again. Mordekaiser does not have ultimate available this time. Stun did seem to land successfully. Right there's the flash away. Jax trying to follow. Gives himself for the shutdown. Mordekaiser flash and Jax flash. Equaled out. Sivir denied a reset. Sitting on 1400 gold right now. Lucian just shy of 700. I think he needs like what, about 300 or 400 more for his finished item. Sivir should be ready. Alright, as positioning for Dragon seems to be occurring now. Ivern does have ultimate if he wants to come down, but that will open up Mordekaiser to taking 2 plate, if not a bit more. Daisy taking a lot of pain. Wukong countering will take Jax out for his third death. So far, it looks like the Hashira's getting pretty ahead in this match so far. Jax seems to be playing pretty aggressive for these, but there's just not enough damage output yet to secure these plays. Wukong with the Trinity Force ready, still sitting on effectively 1.5 combo, because Sheen doesn't really have any offensive stats, just its ability. You just have a long sword. Kong now has magical footwear, so that puts him at yet another advantage for Jax at the moment. Braum not wanting Rakan to freeze the wave, but it will be done. Bit too close to the tower, so not. I think it's actually just going to convert to a slow push rather than a freeze. Nice flash from Ivern, keeps in fear of the stun. Lucian going aggressive. Knocks Sivir down just below half health. Nice shielding from Rakan. And Sivir's own spell shield for a bit as well. Nice job steering clear of his barrage for a good chunk of it. Really helped keep him alive. Here comes teleport from Syndra. Prevent that dive attempt. Ooh, coming out fast. Ult comes out onto Jax, who will get away. Nivea taking some hits to the enemy tower. Coming out. Wukong has ultimate ready. Syndra has none, however. Your attempts to stun unsuccessful. Pod getting a bit of deep vision after there doesn't seem to be a dive play for Nivea. Mordekaiser asks who's winning Worlds. Bit of a rough start for Coinflip so far, but their CSing is fine. On about a 4,000 gold deficit, almost. 3.5. Anivia seems to be the one struggling most, and Ivern, actually. If Ivern gets thrown to Brazil, it's just kind of dead at the moment. Fun fact, Daisy triggers Bramble Nest to hurt Ivern. Baron goes to the Hashira. Where have I seen this before? 2 map objectives and 2 dragons. Gerald and 3 Void Grubs. Not a great trade from Nivea. Health pretty low. Misses. Did not manage to get the amplified damage for her W earlier. Ultimate. And egg is popped. That won't reach. Yeah, Hashira champs did get fed early, but you know, it's a Mordekaiser, Kong, and Syndra. They're getting fed makes it way more dangerous for any of the carries. And Ivern on Flip's end. Alright, blue team will at least secure this dragon for free. Fortunate for them. Nice rotate. Time to start stacking those Hextech Drakes. Will this be a 6 dragon match? Mordekaiser is struggling with Daisy, and he will go down.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Jack's fighting Wukong in the jungle. He does have his training force at the moment. Steals the Krug successfully. Wukong's ultimate recast comes out. Syndra is aiming to walk towards top lane. This top tower will go down. Alright, Coinflip starting to pick up tempo now. Lucian testing the waters with the damage onto Sivir. Has Essence Reaver, so mana doesn't exist for him. Nice avoid. Ooh, beautiful damage. Sivir getting Nivea getting a really nice lock onto Syndra, dropping her below half health. That is absolutely a danger point. Get hit by one more Q and you are gone. Lucian heading for another kill, but barrier comes up. Flash is still available as well. Wukong coming down alongside the Rakan. Rakan ultimate comes out. Will be blocked a quite significant period of the time. Lucian continues to flash away. Q from Braum lands onto Sivir, knocks her lower. Mordekaiser out here, however. Ultimate set down onto Braum to make sure to secure his death. Sivir fails to flash over the wall in the Dragon Pit, will go down. As Ivern and Lucian looking to possibly fight something here. Syndra does not have ultimate available. Daisy will die 50 gold for whomever took her out. As Jax is just chillaxing up the top side. Will see Sivir here in a bit. Tower taking a hit. 2 recalls, 3 recalls. Wukong stopping. Ivern missing the Q. But Jax will manage to take that top lane inner turret. That is 3 towers thus far for Coinflip, 0 for the Hashira. Still at a 7-kill deficit, but what does that matter at this point when they are getting such nice plays at them? A lot of hurt onto Lucian there. Thankful. I bet he is. Or wait, actually, I think it's 120. Yes, 120. Wait, did I read it right? Okay, yeah, her ultimate does execute at the moment. Ooh, what is this? Anivia going on to the Wukong, who has flash at the moment. He misses. Mordekaiser deciding to fight. He does not have Brazil at the ready. Tries flashing away, will get knocked up by Braum ultimate. Out comes the locket of the Iron Solari. Will not be enough as Jax lands a stun on Rakan, who barely gets away, 200 health. As that might... no, Wukong is still alive, but you do see Coinflip moving towards that Atacon at the moment. Do they have the damage to take it before Wukong gets back? Mordekaiser does not have ult ready, and teleport ready, but there are Hex Tech portals. Ivern will be going in to try and slow down the advance. Successful route onto Syndra, nice double knockup. Wukong clones over the wall, but will not be able to do anything about the Atacon. Nice job, Coinflip. Also recall in my previous stream that Hashira did show really strong early plays, struggled a bit in the middle, and managed to win off of unfortunate mishaps in the macro of the opposing team. If I'm recalling it, it could have been. But if I am recalling correctly, Coinflip is looking really well heading into this mid to late game. We see a lot of vision control trying to take place here. Ooh, nice wall blocking off the Rakan Sum. Will not stop his advance, however. Bush is permanently blinded at this point. Daisy going out fierce, got the knock-up onto Wukong. There is the route for the follow-up. As the dragon will go down, Bramalt comes to separate. Who looks like Mordekaiser set the ult onto Braum. As out comes the heal. They will back off, only death in the engagement being Mordekaiser. Not very many summoner spells used on either side there. Braum didn't have his flash ready. Looks like this mid lane inner turret will be going down shortly. However, Rakan looking for possible entrance, does catch out the Lucian and Anivia. Lucian will go down. Gold going to Sivir. But Anivia will escape. And now it is Coinflip's mid lane outer turret that will be on the defensive. Should go down here, I believe. But the inner should be safe. Anivia taking a lot of hurt. Did get hit by the stun from Syndra. Braum blocking the tower from damage. Nice job. Gotta put some distance. Those minions. Ooh, stunned yet again, Anivia. Will go down. Tower looking to go down as well. Shield comes up. Anivia resurrecting. Stun gets spell shielded. Fight, 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 fight. Jax getting caught by 3 here. We'll be running into the Syndra and Sivir. Sivir ultimate comes out. Speed boost on Syndra active. Will get stunned, but manages to get out before Rakan knockup came out. Its recalls are hitting. There is a blue trinket set onto Baron, so can't really attempt that. Wasn't taken out. Alright, let's take a look at the gold skew here. Sivir ahead by about 900 in front of Lucian. Anivia behind by about 1100. Jax overtaken the Wukong by roughly 800. Top laners about 500 apart, and supports are basically even. Just one has Redemption, one has Locket. Both running Celestial Opposition. Not sure about it on Braum at the moment, considering there is the Sivir that you're going into, so it does pop pretty easily. I guess if he gets caught out from face checking, it's less of an issue. Baron attempt will be spotted and stopped. Ooh, what is this? Aggression onto the Sivir, but she will escape. Jax lands a 4-man stun with that flash counter strike, but is hopping out at the moment. I think a teleport was trying to come in for Mordekaiser, but was stopped by Anivia. As Daisy will distance everyone, and Anivia successfully survives Brazil and takes out Mordekaiser. Oh no! Ooh, Syndra Flash is down at the moment. She expected the ball to travel much further than it ended up doing for her force of will. Force of will. Alright, Mordekaiser back up soon. The only player with deaths on Hashira's side has been Mordekaiser thus far. The only champion without deaths for Coinflip has been Ivern. Hextech Drake up here. As both sides want it, it will be opening soul point for either side. Will be the third Hextech Drake for Coinflip. That is huge. Anivia takes a lot of hurt from Syndra. Wukong forced to flash away. Anivia doesn't have ultimate, so she's going to have to play with herself backed up against the wall. Nice Zanyas! As Braum manages to secure the last hit, securing that third Hextech Dragon. Some chaos going on in the pit. Syndra trying to get a kill onto Ivern over there. Keeps running him down as Mordekaiser flashes over the wall to get away from Jax. Lucian kills the Rakan. Ivern takes out Syndra. Lucian trying to get some more work done here. Not sure what did the burn damage. Wait. Yeah, oh, red buff, red buff. Wukong dies to Lucian thanks to the red buff. And I was looking like, is there death stance? Did Lucian buy some item with burn, but completely, you know, forgot that red buff is the thing in the game? All in all, even fight in terms of who killed who, but that opening or unlocking of Soul Point for Coinflip is massive. 5 ability haste, 5 attack speed per stack, so that's 15-15 for them at this point. Aim for that 20-20. As Syndra's definitely at max stacks at this point. Everything fully unlocked. 450 ability power. Quite the fight for that Raptor. No one took any hurt except for emotion. Oh. Hold up. Anivia yet again taking out Mordekaiser in a fight. As here comes the dragon play. Not dragon, Baron play. Ivern and Braum doing what they can to zone off as Jax and Lucian are melting this objective. Pong going aggressive onto Braum, but not really noticing what's going on. There comes the Anivia with the teleport. Looks like they're planning for a hard play of aggression here. Braum misses the Wukong with his Q. As Coinflip moves up with these Baron empowered minions. Bot lane is pushing up as well, so they can rotate to it. They will get the advantage over their opponents and get the final inner tower down. As Blue Trinket will spot who was on the back. Wukong was seen, I believe. Tower goes down. Syndra walled off. Flash is forced. What is the play here? Wukong has some really heavy advantages. Too many things to keep up with, but Sivir is almost dead. Rakan is nearly dead. Wukong tried to do something, and that something did not work out. As Hashira's members are running for their lives, everyone below half health. Nivea Wall comes out, does not manage to trap the Rakan, but it looks like this tower should fall here, as Redemption fails to land on Braum, and kind of baits his team into getting hit by the Cinder stun together. Sharing is caring. Beautiful push from Coinflip, taking their gold lead for the first time in the match. And everyone in Hashira now has a death. Ivern still at null. And 10 stacks on his Doran's ring at that. I assume Ivern's pinged Braum to face check bushes. Unspotted. Daisy getting pulled away. Aggression onto Sivir from Lucian and Braum. Lucian has to rethink his advance, but what is that? Ivern and Anivia killing Syndra on the side after walling her in. Knock-up attempt from Rakan failed to land. Anivia ultimate terrorizing those there. As Jax is taken out one after the other, Wukong trying to do something on his own, will go down, and this is looking like a game one for Coinflip in the bag. Sorry for not zooming out fast enough, but man, these fights were spanning like 3 screen sizes worth. Wild stuff. Fantastic job, Coinflip, rallying after that early game, getting that Hextech soul. I guess if the end Braum decided to stay back to secure that. Fantastic mid game from Coinflip there. A lot of mistakes abounds in the early game, but they absolutely pulled through after the fact. Uh, you see, CLT, Coinflip pulled off some mad macro and tempo, maintaining plays. Anivia getting some good walls, and Jax being Jax. He hit that 0 and 5 power spike and ended up getting like a triple in the end. Still waiting for the drafts to begin. Sounds like trying to decide swap ends or not. Looks like we'll have a tad of a wait before the next. this. Is for rank queues? Yes. We'll say that uh, Hashira was winning before Mordekaiser had their ping drop to normal values. The winner was Coinflip. They had Hextech Soul confirmed for funsies at the end after acing all of Hashira. They also managed to sneak a Baron with Lucian and Jax, while Braum and Ivern were pushing everyone else away. Like everyone's breaking out. Alright. It looks like the stall is because the lobby was bugged because there was a patch that was pushed through. I just put that for anyone that didn't hear or might stop in. Have you? Still not sure if they decided sides yet. But so far it's looking like they're probably preserving the same sides. Gonna take a quick look at the brackets here. Alright, so this is 6 then. We're in Group A. I don't know how to translate it. Okay, it looks like they will be swapping sides. Let me just fix that. And move to draft. Hasn't begun yet, but we'll have it in place. Alright, so Jax has been used, so no one needs to worry about him anymore. Alright, and the bans are starting now. First, going to Morgana for Hashira. Ban 2, going to Yone for Coinflip. As Mel takes Hashira's second ban. LeBlanc, Coinflip second. And Caitlyn a fast third. Volibear taking Coinflip's third. There's the Zaya lock for Hashira's first pick. There's the Ziggs lock for Coinflip. And before Ziggs Vigor bot, since I'm not sure if the Vigor buffs are in. And the Jarvan, looking like a dive game. Funny considering, there's a Zaya. It's very much anti-dive. Gal pick. And the Nautilus. It would be funny if someone played Echo. I don't know why it would be funny, but I agree. Would that someone be on... It would have to be an Echo mid. And Hashira ban Mel. so I think it would be less likely for it to be guessing. I don't know matchups. Ooh, there is the Swain lock. It was banned last match by Hashira as the next ban wave comes in with Silas. For Coinflip. Hashira deciding on their neck. And it will be Gnar. Coinflip's final ban, Irelia. With a Gnar ban, I feel like it probably wouldn't have been Irelia to begin with, but... Oh. Wait. No, I don't think a Yorick would ban Silence. I don't think... Actually, there could be a Malphite. They do have last pick. That is a lot of AD so far on Hashira's end. Maybe or they would have probably banned Fiora if there was Leona lock. Oh, that is so much diving power and pick potential. Gonna need a lot of counter engage for the Hashira. Okay, there's the Olaf pick. Him into Swain, I assume if they're on even ground that Swain will die unless he has backup. Looking like Hui for their final pick. I think that's a bit dangerous considering all the dive potential from Coinflip. With a Renekton on the final lock, that is a surprise. Since I don't think that... well, I think Renekton should be fine to Olaf early, but I want to think that he falls off later on. His burst is high enough that it could be problematic, I guess. And he does break the shield, so... Olaf goes for a panic ult. He will just kind of die. Let's see. As the actual draft should be starting here shortly. I think. Yes, it will. It's the wrong one. And I will be right back as this goes on. Actually, let me do a brief roundup. So Hashira has some anti-dive with Zaya. I guess Thresh and Hui kind of work into it as well. I'm not sure if Thresh beats Jarvan. I think he might, at the very least. Xin Zhao we've seen throughout matches. The last match I saw him in, he did well in cleanup later on through enemies that kind of grouped up and stuff, but provided him an avenue to jump around as needed. I don't think his ult is going to be doing a lot though. I think the range of his ultimate is matched with Swain. Swain, I think, is going to be in a bit of trouble because both Xin Zhao and Olaf do have pretty easy access to him. But then again, that easy access does mean they are going to be very open to being shotgunned, and that is a mid lane Swain. Out of support, so we should be able to expect a lot out of his damage output. He is going into Hui. But his grab is relatively reliable. I'm not sure how the matchup goes. It might be a bit problematic for Swain to go into, because Hui abilities are notably easier for him to land, and he has more range. Well, technically Swain has more range, but Hui's range is much lower cooldown. Actually, what if it's Swain and Leona bot? Ziggs mid. Wait, I'm not looking at the... Yeah, it's definitely not that. Who would think it's that? Alright. Should be about 4 minutes until the match begins now. Honestly, not sure who to say I would favor in the compositions, just that Coinflip has a lot of diving power. I know their support likes to be very aggressive. Thresh is pretty solid at putting stuff like that down, as is Xayah. But if Xayah has no ultimate, Jarvan is kind of a death knell for her, as she would not be able to escape and would be the easiest mark for Ziggs. Same deal with Hui, really, but I think Hui at least can block the flag and drag. Thresh at least provides some opportunities out of the Jarvan ultimate, but you know, it's only for one guy. But should be a good game. Coinflip did pretty well as the game went on last game, and they do have quite a few late game picks, with Renekton and Jarvan being their most early game skewed options. While Hashira's looking pretty solid in the mid game with their setup. Not particularly weak in the early game either, mind you. Not sure who I would say has the advantage in this match. Lots of pick potential from either side. I think that both ends are able to siege and stop sieges on a relatively equal basis. Maybe a bit worse for Coinflip, since Swain can't block sieges nearly as well as Hui can. Yeah. Someone earlier was stoked for a 2-1 and for a 2-0 Coinflip play. CLT banking on a 3-game series. Anyone else have anything to say on that regards? Otherwise, match starting up in a minute. Coinflip currently sitting at 1-0. And I'm going to change the screens here and go get something real quick. It It will be a black screen for about the next minute and maybe 10 seconds.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
Looks like we already have a confrontation in the jungle here, with Jarvan walking into Olaf and Xin Zhao with low health. Nice grasp from Swain, pulling Olaf in for the kill. And Jarvan in for the kill, and then Olaf died after. Or wait, no, pulled Olaf. Ooh, flash from Hui avoiding yet another pull from Swain, who doesn't have flash at the moment, and he will go down. Xin Zhao tried to steal the red buff again. Brandino seems to have a struggling start. Hold up, let me fix. Alright, support versus support. Both of them got a kill. Honestly, a bit of a dangerous spot for Ziggs to teleport into. Nice pull from Swain. Take a peek at his stat count, sick. But it will go up plenty as the game moves on. Nice. Every time he lands, gets a fair chunk of health. Nice knockup from Ziggs. Fortunately, Jarvan was not close enough yet to do anything about that. But he is moving in now with Leona. Misses free. As they will escape. Jarvan coming down for yet another gank attempt. Leona coming out of the bush. Ziggs knockup lands. Here comes Leona for the lockdown and kill going to Jarvan. That's how my solo queue Jarvans are. They never leave bot. Swain lands an E. Already at 12 stacks now. Fortunate cast right there. Ooh, Xin Zhao looking for something top. Renekton is level 4 with full rage charged. Slicing away because he sees something is wrong. Alright, Jarvan getting close. Not sighted yet. Spots the Xin. Why does the camera keep getting locked? Tapping them. Alright, Swain going for a recall. Does have teleport on cooldown. So we'll have to look at that. Double fairy charm. Wait a second. Is he gonna be spreading the love with his healing? Dragon attempt from Hashira coming out. Leona gets a nice stun onto Xayah, who will go down to the 3. Wei ult doing some big damage to Jarvan. Ziggs is stranded here. Getting a bit out. Swain pushing everyone away. Flashes in aggressively. Decides to go for the Wei. Nice lock. Ziggs damage coming out, and the kill is secured. Dragon attempt stopped. Gold neck and neck. Ooh, nice disengage there. As Coinflip is looking to go for the dragon now. Xayah trying to spot it out. Xin nowhere near yet. Ooh, slow landed onto the Xayah from Swain. Leona almost avoids the root, but knocks her to half health on her own. And opts for the Void Grubs instead. Nice ult from Xayah, knocks Ziggs pretty low. We're safe. As their support was sitting top side. Make sure grubs were taken care of. But Xayah, no ultimate, does have flash available. But this Jarvan has his ultimate available. There's no one coming by to help Xayah. Will go down. No ult necessary, other than, you know, Ziggs to confirm. Nice coordination from Coinflip. Fourth death on Xayah this game. Ooh, very nice shotgun from Swain. As Hui is getting pretty darn low. 22 stat. As it looks like there's posturing for a gank onto Renekton right now. Hook lands from Thresh, but no one really seems to be eager to go in on it. Swain wanting to go for a gank himself. Swain nearly getting caught by the Swain there. No flash available. Leona and Jarvan, however, not yet enough to save him. Stun knock up. Jarvan going for the Hui instead. He is out and Leona is going to be ruthless here. 2, 1. But the Thresh was there to the rescue. As Ziggs is having a swell time into the Xayah. 100 health. Ooh, Leona E barely misses. Maybe overextending here with Xin coming up. Jarvan is no longer on the bottom side. Ziggs ult came out, didn't really do anything. Ooh, Leona turns, does at least cause Xayah her ult at the very least. Ziggs trying to escape. Will flash and get away. Xin Zhao not able to confirm his dash. Was on cooldown more than likely. Next dragon up in just under 1.5 minutes. Those two pendants are going some wonders for Swain's regen. Ooh, Xayah is alone, has no ultimate with Leona and Jarvan on the rear. Will flash to try and escape. Leona taking quite a few tower shots to buffer. Yet another successful dive. As Thresh is heading towards mid instead. Successful ultimate from the Hui. Swain ulting to make sure that Thresh doesn't get close. Does have flash available, so it is a shorter cooldown than his ult, so it's not a bad thing that he used his ultimate as kind of a defensive mechanism. Like one of those lizards that fans its frills, whatever the heck they're called. Leona going in, dropping pretty darn low. Will be taken out by Hui. Might be a bit overzealous with this dragon attempt here. Renekton's still pushing top. Doesn't have teleport up. Well, that is 5 angling on the Coinflip here. Brandino's escape will be prevented. As will Ziggs. As Swain flashes out to safety. That will be Chemtech Dragon in favor of Hashira. As Renekton will be getting himself quite a few plates and denying a lot of minions. Alright, going into the mid game, gold is still neck and neck. But let's see where that gold is right now. Olaf with about a 600. Ooh, actually. Leona catching out the Thresh. Ziggs caught in the hook. Will not escape for the kill going to Thresh. As Thresh is still honing in and won't catch them. Looks like this mid lane outer turret is set to take it. Swain is enough threat there to back them off. Alright, once again, we will take a peek at the gold here. Olaf ahead by 500. Junglers are relatively even, but Swain going for something here. Xayah has ult. Alright. That is Xin trying to make a move. Leona there, trying to distance. Nice! Jarvan ultimate, getting them all locked in for the Ziggs ult. Q comes out. Oh, that was a W, not a Q. Was not able to finish off Xayah. That is so unfortunate. As the recalls will come out. Renekton attempting to fight Olaf here. Ults come out. And that will be a kill for Renekton. Olaf was just too low to be able to do anything there.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed. Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Looks like there's a lot of posturing on the top side as Hwei and Swain duke it out on the bot. Teleport comes out from both mid laners. Swain being a wall on their back right now. Ziggs ultimate doesn't land on anyone, however. Swain backing off the Olaf. As Renekton goes down, Olaf is going crazy right now, but he is down now as well. Swain damage trying to do what he can. Sustain not enough for this, as Jarvan will try and escape here, but getting marked by Xin will spell his death. Fight win for Hashira, and should see 1 or 2 towers go down with that. Unfortunately, I think the Ziggs ultimate was very preemptive there. And in a team fight like that, because Olaf doesn't have his ultimate, Jarvan might want to use his onto Olaf to restrict his movement and effectively make him a sitting duck, as well as separating his team and able to help him out. That's my assumption. But because the Ziggs ult was early, and I'm not quite sure where the Jarvan ult went off, I think it was to finish off the Olaf. There wasn't much effect in the utility, unfortunately. Clean to Hashira's victory there. Ooh, but Xin overextending will get caught out by 2. Swain does have Rylai's, so getting knocked back won't do much to him. Alright, and Swain will be brought out with a lantern as Herald gets a second charge. Here comes the dragon play, but Olaf does have his teleport ready. Hui is sending his Rumble ult over the wall, doing some damage with it. Everyone angling to prep to go in as Olaf is destroying that top tower, and Xin Zhao will succeed with the steal. Ziggs ult comes out, Jarvan will die, and Swain is just not enough of a damage threat using Rylai's and Shirelia's as his tools. I'm not sure how the Q missed everyone, but Ziggs will not be able to defend the tower from Olaf. And you have 4 members of Hashira trying to chase down the Swain, who's moving at some of the slowest speeds known to man, trying to escape. Locking his ghost to ensure that there are no fights taking place in the meantime. Back up in 30. And he wants to go aggressive then. Jarvan is the only one that can actually keep the check at this point. 5 kills on Olaf. Alright. Back to checking these gold advantages. So, Olaf, 600 lead. Xin Zhao, 1800. There comes the Jarvan ultimate onto Hui, but he will go down as there is no actual damage with him at this point. Alright, so Xin Zhao alright, and Ziggs fails to avoid the Xin Zhao W. Will get caught out and killed, and Leona should die here as well. Does have flash available, decides to use it. As Coinflip's base and objectives are being assaulted. Looks like a dive attempt. Rush hook lands, play connects, and Swain is dead as well. Olaf will be taking out the tower here. He does not care that Jarvan is smacking him around. Will go down to the Renekton. Alright, once again, gold differences. 1600 difference between top laners in favor of Olaf. Junglers, Zin's favor of about 2.5k. Mid laners in Hui's favor for 2.3k. AD carry, or well, bot laners, about 500 gold lead for Ziggs over Xayah. And the supports don't really matter all that much, but about 300 gold. At the very least, Thresh has Redemption versus Leona's Locket. Gonna take a peek at Swain's stack count. Only 49. Seems the rate has slowed down considerably. Blue looking to be stolen. Successfully done so. Dragon's up in 20. Zhao's smite should be up for it. It was at 2 charges. as both sides are positioning for this dragon attempt. Swain getting caught out will die very quickly. Renekton also trying to do something, however, was inside the enemy team, but nothing came of it. Hashira's team composition is doing some work due to the lack of damage afforded by Coinflip. As Ziggs will get hit, caught up, knocked up, and taken out. Jarvan and Leona opt to push the lane, but Olaf wants to stop him. Atacon will go down. Pinging for Baron. Probably not a good call with enemy team up soon. Even Coinflip is behind. You get caught out during a Baron attempt, you're probably going to lose because of those strict rules. I'm surprised objective bounties haven't already turned on. It's about a 7k gold lead at the moment in favor of the Hashira. Game is slipping away from Coinflip fast. I think it was a bit of a mistake for Swain to opt for utility build rather than an aggressive offensive one. I think he kind of had to commit. Possibly the same deal was with Jarvan heading for a fighter route rather than possibly a tank, but that's all my speculation. Xin Zhao is a massive threat actually at the moment. 3 completed items, 11 and 0. Leona ult comes out. Jarvan will not be able to permit Ziggs ult landing onto anyone other than Xayah. She kind of got out. Alright, everyone will be clumped up by Hui to be taken out here as Leona tries to do something, but no one there to pile on anything. As stragglers abounds will go down as Renekton proceeds to be chased down by Olaf. And that will unlock a free Baron for the Hashira. As Olaf wants to take down a tower instead. Oh, or well, won't take that tower, but he will get some minions.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Wei did take out bottom lane at the very least. I feel Jarvan probably would have died if he went in there. Got the thumbs up. And not hit. Hashira definitely pulling it together from the last match. Game is looking comfortably theirs so far. One and a half minutes until Mountain Drake comes up. Will be their 3rd Mountain Drake, making them so much beefier. It was like what, 4% resistance? Mountain? 5%. They've nearly all got a Jock Show activated at this point. Minus the base stats. Yet another jungle camp to steal. So many resources being strangled from Coinflip at the moment. Olaf will opt to solo push top as Renekton does not get hit by the root, but will get caught out by the Hwei ult, I think? No. Just his own ult. But he is in dangerous health territory. Swain being the one decided to protect the top side. Downside of not having an AD carry is that these minions are going to be a massive pain in the butt to take out. Their resistance stat is cannon, not so much. Is Renekton bugged? Does the skin just do that? King's coming on way. This is the soul point in progress. Almost stolen. Dropped to 400 health. Good communication, slowing down the dragon there before the bomb landed. If Ziggs had much more AP, could have been difficult to deal with that, but it's quite alright. But this is looking a bit dangerous. Hook comes out, Renekton caught, will be flayed in alongside Leona as the Hwei ult will land on the Leona. Swain ultimate comes out, but there's no one for him to safely steal off of as Xayah confirms, or well, someone confirms damage. But that is the death of Coinflip and should be the end of game 2 as the GGs come out, bringing us to a 1-1. Teleport from Hwei. And that is indeed the end of game 2, bringing us to game 3. As is, you know, how it generally goes when both game 1 and game 2 go to their own respective. Looks like Coinflip's top laner is missing. Yep. Coinflip is red, Hashira is blue for game 3. Waiting on the last person. Alright, and it looks like they are back. The draft should commence here. Once done. Yeah, draft has been in progress. Coinflip's bans looking about the same. Hashira going for Morgana and Vi. And Nocturne for their final ban. Is that Shen pick? Or something else? Bear once again, Coinflip's final ban. Hashira opts for Caitlyn as their first pick. Coinflip responding with a Smolder pick. And Udyr. Interesting. Hashira response. Nautilus pick. Nautilus and Kate being a pretty painful bot lane to go up against. You get hit by one root and you're good as dead. Caitlyn trap with the roof is pretty nutty. So many supports you could do that with. Nautilus has 3 relatively safe methods of landing it, so. Plus the tracking knock up onto Smolder with his depth charge. Brand, whether that's mid or jungle, we'll see. Coinflip's final pick going to Lux. That is such a weird comp so far. Silas ban for the first option on Coinflip. Hashira covering several top laners in response. Deciding on Gnar. Aurelia for Coinflip's final ban yet again. Mirrors their ban for the past 2 minutes. Hashira having Malphite. I doubt that's actually going to be their ban. Don't. It is? Okay then. What's it gonna be then? Yone was already removed. All the tank busters are present still. Right. Coinflip opting for Alistar is their support pick. So we'll once again see a Nautilus and Alistar in the bot lane. And Hashira locks in the gangplank. They really don't want Smolder to have a great time. Neither do they want Lux to have a great time. Either one can very easily be taken out with this setup. And it's looking like a brand in the jungle with that Fizz hover. Seeing Fizz in here, it's been a while. It's been a long while. And Kaisa is Coinflip's final lock-in. Does that point towards a Smolder in the top lane? Or I guess it could be Kaisa in the top lane as well. Yes, this is game 3. As the actual picks are going through. So, evaluation time. Caitlyn, Nautilus, Strong. Gangplank, Brand, Fizz. We'll see how it ends up. But their front is strong. I think you need like 2 good fronts for Brand to be feeling safe. So we'll see how that ends up with only the Nautilus. While Coinflip possibly pulled off a switcheroo with the Smolder and Kaisa picks. But they are pretty squish, but there, is Udyr and Alistar. Depends on what build Udyr opts for. We'll see. Not a lot of backline access, but a lot of poke. A lot of poke. But if Fizz gets in, could be problematic. Uh, Nautilus can basically set any of them up for death. Like, there's not much recovery coverage on Coinflip's end, I feel. So the mid and late game is seeming a bit iffy for me. The early game, I think it's kind of a lane by lane thing at this point. Alistar into Alistar and Kaisa into Caitlyn Nautilus. Caitlyn outranges Kaisa, but Caitlyn does have much better burst. Nautilus is a pretty safe target for her to attack and get those stacks up on, especially with Alistar there to block for her and disrupt necessary. Brand only has 2 good targets to reliably get his setups on. I don't really see a lot of clustering on Coinflip's end for Brand to be able to capitalize off of. I think his ganking opportunities might be slim unless Vision is played around properly and in a meaningful manner. Time will tell. Not that. As the final wait begins, and we're about 4 minutes from the start of the final match between Coinflip and the Hashira. Okay, in terms of early game power, I find Lux early to be very weak, Smolder early very weak, and Brand is solid level 3 onwards, but, and, his options to fight and stuff aren't slippery enough to give him much issue, I don't think. So until people buy boots, I think Brand would be fine for the most part. Like, coming face to face with Udyr might pose trouble depending on how the engagement begins. And, Udyr does have access to shields, which makes Brand have a very, very sad time. And Lux has shields. Kaisa has all. Alistar will probably buy. Gonna be a lot to cut through for him. I'm not sure what I see in Coinflip's mid-late game. Like, they do have a lot of poke power, but I don't see much of a composition so far. Granted, that is a similar case with Hashira, I feel. So once again, I'm not quite sure what end I would put the favor on for this match. Alright. As game 3 is about to be underway. A wise man once said, "Here we go!" Pings on opposite end of the map, but starting at the same time.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Lux setting the board in the raptor bush, just in case they rotate over to there
30
and sit
seconds until
inside of
minions
said
spawn.
brush to catch her off guard. Picks up. Everyone was out of place on Hashira's side.
Minions have spawned.
Wait, is that a C? No, it's a T. Eh. Why does it look like a C? It's so small. There doesn't seem to have been any wards placed in meaningful positions to catch where the having at the very least. Same deal with Brand. Gangplank taking quite a bit of hurt so far. Fizz went top, I see.
As expected.
Maybe a lane swap because Gangplank didn't want to have to deal with. Fuck. I forget the names of the people who are in which lanes. A lot of damage from Fizz onto Smolder. Wait. Got the punch. Literally just need to be a wall for Kaisa. Alright, hook is missed from Nautilus. Buck's getting those slows. Ooh, lots of bleed from Gangplank's passive. Wonderful job. Is going aggressive once again. Flash was forced out of Smolder. Will be a bit of time before level 6 is available, however. Right, Flash forced out Brand. That skin makes him look so weird. Doesn't even look like Brand. Maybe you're taking one scuttle, going for the second. Lux landing yet another set of abilities. Gangplank looking for a parlay. Not Hook catches Alistar. Get out. There's plenty. Ooh, Lux has very low health. The parlay was a bit early there, unfortunately for Gangplank. As Lux resets, it'll be coming. Doesn't have teleport available, but neither does Gangplank. Kinda surprised you didn't take the trade on the back there. Does have Sheen ready at the moment. That's in range of our E. I don't think he's getting into that. Ah, he did. And Lux is out of position, got caught by the Brand for the overextension. Out comes the root, and Lux is a goner. Brand should be able... Brand, help! Help! It's too late by the time he turned.
Okay.
Smolder forced to cancel his recall. I'd probably recall at this point, but does have level 6. He already used a shark, but it will be back up pretty quickly. This ult is surprisingly short for how I expect it to be. Coming in. Nice avoidance of the Lux ult. Gangplank not really taking anything, will go down to a parlay Sheen proc. Nice job sidestepping all those skills. As Smolder's not having a great time up top. Chum the Water's almost off cooldown. Very dangerous for Smolder here. Does he know? Ult comes out. Grievous Wounds was in effect. That will be the 3rd kill for the feat of warfare attributed to the Hashira. No neutral objectives taken just yet. But first feat being down is a big win there. Gangplank in a great position. And all lanes for Coinflip seem to be struggling at this point. Here opting for Void Grubs, but Lux is recalling. Smolder doesn't have Flash. Fizz is heading back to lane. Brand is there. Does have ultimate available. Didn't manage to steal that. Did not land Seer. Brand should be able to pick up these last 2 Void Grubs. Lux misses her Q. I'll start going for some vision.
Okay. Survive this, and you'll need a lot of
That hit. Fair trade. Lux shield there. Would have won the trade.
Really?
Right now, even though Gangplank's health is low, it's more of a win for him because of it. Losing trade, eaten orange, and it'll be K. Ooh, Smolder taking another chum. Fizz is getting him as low as he can before using his abilities. Smolder forced to flash yet again, sitting on 200 health, is going to be recalling away from tower. Ooh, narrowly avoids the Lux ult. Gangplank. For Lux. Not a cannon wave, so Gangplank will be able to push it some. Let's see what Lux goes for buying. Blasting. Alistar taking a lot of hurt. Caught by the Nautilus hook. Ult comes out. Smolder's stepping pretty close to Fizz here. Chum the Waters cast as soon as it came up for a kill. Smolder ain't got nothing on the fish.
Okay.
Gangplank sidestep Lux Q. Lux leaning topside for the recall because of the dragon. Will be seen. Smolder teleport coming out. Fizz ult halfway off cooldown. Has Lichbane going for the Dark Seal, deciding to get more kills. Will we see roams? If Lux Flash is charged, could be the gank for him. Ooh, nice sidestep on the Q at such close range with all those minions around you. Caitlyn Yuntal ready. Doesn't want to use it until Kai'Sa's barrier is gone.
Hits the spot. More powder.
Nice slow from the Gangplank. Alright, Lux will die to the burn. Brand has the Andres. As Udyr hasn't really had any chances to do anything about this. Smolder's struggling. Lux is either pushing or... yeah. Kind of hard for her to stay afloat at the moment. She walks forward, very easy target for Brand. Kai'Sa going far aggressive. Flash from Caitlyn. Ooh, Nautilus catches. But Caitlyn ult will be blocked. And gonna see how that top lane play went. Looks like Fizz went aggressive with ultimate onto Smolder. Knocked him low halfway. Smolder thought he could do something, but Fizz got out. And Brand should secure his exit.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Alistar taking some hurt, does not have ultimate available. Nautilus blocking quite a bit of damage from the Kai'Sa thanks to his item. Fizz trying to escape, will get stunned. Flash comes out. Playful slash Trickster, not off cooldown yet, but Brand is coming over to try and land the kill, and the burn is just enough. Hold up. What was going on here? Caitlyn and Nautilus going for a ward. Alistar gets caught out by a couple of traps. Health drops to 200. Nice slam against the wall to take out the Caitlyn as Kaisa secures the kill onto Nautilus. Coinflip wants their way into the game. It's looking like it might be through their bot lane. Gangplank putting some hurt onto Lux. Ooh, that is a hard Q.
Hits the spot.
About a fifth of her health. As first tower goes down to the Kaisa and Alistar after that scuffle down below. Gives her about a 400 gold lead over Caitlyn. How's their XP looking? Slight lead on Kaisa. Any lane swaps coming up? Lux seems to be heading towards mid. Probably not. Fizz is probably going to be probably going to be wanting to sit across Smolder throughout most of the match. Jump the waters off cooldown yet again. Fizz going aggressive. Will catch Smolder with the prediction on the flash. Playful slash Trickster not yet back up, however, and he will go down. Might be opting for Azanya's next, perhaps, to make the tower dives even viable. Or Proto Belt. Gangplank pushing bot free. Nautilus taking a lot of hurt, but Coinflip is taking out that Herald. Did lose their bot side outer turret for it, and Mountain Drake is coming up as well. Caitlyn trying to separate, will get hit by Lux E. Drop to half health. This mid lane outer turret will be going down here.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Caitlyn will be stalled on her return, but Udyr's taken a lot of damage. Brand has his ultimate used. There's Fizz doing a lot of damage. Lux is out. Alistar as well. Udyr and Kaisa looking to get out there, but that ult from Gangplank is doing some hurt. As Brand pretty low on mana, deciding to actually off that dragon as his team is sieging. Yeah, very much running out of mana. Ooh, Fizz going for a dive attempt. Out comes the Smolder ultimate. Tower is down. Mountain Drake secured. Oh. So long as Hashira maintains this advantage and keeps the pressure up onto key targets like Smolder, Kaisa, I think that they will be in the clear so far. But it is still within the realm of possibility for Coinflip's comeback. Kaisa looking a bit dangerous. He does avoid the ultimate. Ooh, unfortunate Q from Fizz brought him further inside. That is double stun. Trying to get out. Does Blast Cone over successfully. as Lux is being focused on now. Nice triple barrel. There comes the Q and the finisher. And what is going on here? As that is happening, Udyr trying to chase down Caitlyn, gets stuck on a trap. Fizz coming down. Alistar overextending, but Kai'Sa coming over, looking to get some kills on her own. Not realizing the insane damage, however. Kai'Sa will take down the Fizz, but Smolder looking to go down here as well. Died to the red buff. That is a 19-20 ace.
Red team's turret has been destroyed. Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Caitlyn being chased down, will go down to the Alistar and Udyr, preventing escape. I kind of expected an AP build on Kai'Sa here, just because there's a lot of burst available, and I feel like she might not want to get close to a couple of these champs. Alright, Atacon Temp is going on with Brand alive and near. Alistar will get stunned. Passive Prime. As Fizz goes and kills Kai'Sa, so they are without an AD carry at this point. As Udyr is taken out by Gangplank. Nautilus, nice hook onto the Alistar. I thought everyone was dead already. Ah, teleport from Smolder. Okay. Going in for the Gangplank. Ooh, drops to half health and dies instantly. For the second ace at 21 minutes. Just 2 minutes after their first. Alright, Hashira further increasing their lead. No deaths once again on one of their members this time. Brand did very well in the first matches in Zhao. Or wait, was it the first match or the second match? I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was the second match. It was like 11-0 and 12 or something. It looks like we're A-ramming for a bit here. Got 3 minutes till Baron's up. 30 seconds for Infernal Drake. As Udyr blast coning you out as Caitlyn takes. Infernal Drake attempt is starting up. Looks like it will be free. Soul point unlocked. As a ping going out towards top. Is looking at stuff a bit suspiciously. Sees the Kai'Sa, sees the Alistar. Let's take their chance at the tower. Teammates are moving in, right, and finds it safe to back off. Lux is over in mid lane. And here comes his allies. his teleport will be up in time for Baron. Recalling with 900 gold. We're just baiting it. Smolder is still there anyway. That is his prime target. Was he seen? Alright, and it seems that the target is swapped over to Udyr, as he will go down. Smolder doing a lot of damage, however, won't quite matter. The Alistar is there. As the Gangplank ult came out, and they all died. Now Kaisa is out of position. Ooh, going very aggressive onto Caitlyn, who will die. But Lux will go down to Brand afterwards. That is the third ace at 24 minutes and a half. Like some more towers will be going down. I assume the clicks on ping are going out because it's possibly being sporadic, as there are no inner towers remaining for Coinflip.
Heavy artillery.
Alright, yep, there is the high ping. If it doesn't change, we might see a pause go on. Ah, there was a pause. It was so fast though. Fizz fishing out a bear. Did use Flash and his ultimate to escape. As here comes the Baron attempt. The ward will be spotted. All members of Coinflip alive, but Lux will be late to the party. Gangplank around the back end. Out comes the Smolder ultimate. As the health bars aren't actually all that low for Hashira. Two of Coinflip's members go down. Out comes the redemption. Baron secured. And this will be the fourth ace of the game. Maybe? Lux Flash. Wasn't the best flash over the Lux Q. But it's looking like end of game 3 for Hashira. Is recalling, possibly to buy some more tower killing power. Alistar out, Udyr out, Kaisa up. Alright, Udyr is dead. Alistar is gone. Kaisa W landed. Brand having Tizanias to survive. But Kaisa still going down to him. And that is game 3 win for the Hashira. Really nice recovery from the Hashira in games 2 and 3 after the first match, in which Coinflip was in command for the majority of the game after the early. Jungler doing exceptionally well. The Fizz absolutely punishing Smolder on repeat. There's not much avenue for him to breathe, and it was not acceptable for him to get that space. Fortunately, I don't think the Lux pick was very impactful. Kaisa had some opportunities here and there, but unfortunately fell short. Opted for the Kraken early, but when you can't really interact with your opponents all that much, probably want to opt for the Nashers or some other AP item first instead. Just to get that W evolution in. But again, could be wrong. but a team with Gangplank, Fizz, Nautilus, Kate, you kind of don't want to get close to. Until, you can burst them the heck down. And also that bigger shield's nice as well. But with that, it will be the end of yet another series. Congratulations to the Hashira for don't recall what the stakes were for this match. CLT could probably still listening. Kidding. But this match was important, as he said. Well, both matches were important. There is another match. I'm not sure if it's still going on. Might be. But getting or if it is still going on, it's probably on. But it looks like the plan will probably be to do a rerun tomorrow for anyone interested in watching that. But yeah, with that,